And welcome to Marcus and Mike Show, guys. I am Mike. My man over here on the other side of the line is Marcus. Marcus, how you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, Michael? Everything's rocking and rolling, man. We're getting ready for this Astros game here in about 5 hours. They moved the time up to a little bit more prime time. It was at 4 p.m. Central. Now it's 6 p.m. Central, so
Yeah,
a
that
little
is
bit
one
better.
thing that I've never really understood about this first series in the Major League Baseball playoffs is they do play a lot of afternoon games. I mean, like the Braves and Houston both played at what 1 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. So
Yeah,
I've never
they're,
understood why they did that.
they're just trying to get all the games in, I guess, on TV in some kind of way. Major League Baseball Network has them, TBS, TNT, ESPN. So yeah, they're just trying to get them all in, I guess.
Yeah, man, I guess you got to do what you got to do because the money does run the world. But before we get into anything today, it is Tuesday, and that means it's time for some trivia. And
Okay.
so I go into the old Google machine here, and I type in trivia, and it brought up 10 questions here. Uh, Pretty easy questions, I think, for you. So we'll see.
Okay.
So we'll kind of see how this goes. Okay.
Okay.
So the first question that we got here is who won Super Bowl 53? Patriots,
Um,
Eagles, Rams, or 49ers?
Was that? I'm not even. Is the Eagles beat the Patriots? I mean, what Super Bowl are we on?
54, isn't it?
Okay, well, I guess the we're on 54. I don't even know which one we're on, to be honest. That's um Patriots. What was the answer? Patriots, Eagles. Eagles beat them. So are Eagles?
Uh, it is not give it all. They're trying to make me buy something. Those little cheapskates. But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was the Eagles, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. Because yeah. So we'll
Okay.
go ahead and click on this next link here.
Okay.
Da, 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 da. Here we go. In 1993, what NFL team made offseason trades for Joe Montana and Marcus Allen?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Heck yeah. The highlight of my life seeing
Right
Marcus
there.
Allen and Joe Montana on the same field.
Right.
Da, 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 da. Next one. Who was the first player drafted in the NFL draft in 1936?
Oh my God.
Was it Bart Starr, Sammy Barr, Don Hudson, or Jay Brainwander?
Man, it was okay. Go. Say the answer slow again, and I'll tell you, and I'll rule them out each one.
Brett Starr, or sorry, Bart Starr.
Bart Starr. Bart Starr played in the '60s, so he might have been born in the '30s. So no, it's not him.
Sammy Bra.
Slinging Sammy Baugh. It might be Sammy Baugh. I'm not sure though. That's a good. And what's the next one?
Don Hudson.
No, it's not Don Hudson. Don Hudson was a little bit later on. In the
And then the
60s.
last one is Jay Beringwanger.
It's either Jay Beringwanger or Slinging Sammy Baugh. So I'll go Jay Beringwanger for some reason. I don't know.
And that is wrong. It is correct answer is Jay Barwinner.
That's what I said.
Yep. Oh,
Didn't I say?
sorry. Yep.
Yeah,
He assigned a 2 season contract for $25,000.
that's a lot of money for 1936. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. That's
You
real good.
go back to 1936 with 25 grand. They're gonna think you're rich.
Right.
Yeah,
What team was originally named the New York Titans? Kansas City Chiefs, Tennessee Titans, New York Giants, or New York Jets?
I'll go New York Jets.
And that is correct. Let me get a sneeze. Man. That is correct. 1963, the team was officially named to the New York Jets to reflect the more modern approach of his team.
Yeah,
What team won 3 Super Bowls in the 1990s? 49ers, Cowboys, Broncos, or Patriots?
that's an easy one. The Cowboys. The Patriots won zero in the 90s. The Broncos won two, and the Niners won one.
And that is correct. The Cowboys won Super Bowl in 1993, 94, and 96. However, the Denver Broncos and San Francisco 49ers each won 2 Super Bowls during the 1990s.
Yeah, the Broncos 98, 99, and the 49ers were 94, and I guess they're counting the 90 season, 1990. Yeah.
All right, here, let's go ahead and get the next one in as soon as it loads. There we go. Which Colts running back twice led the league in receptions? Was it Marshall Faulk, Lindell Mitchell, Jacob Tamme, or Joe Washington?
Wow, led the league in receptions.
Correct.
I'll go Marshall Faulk.
And that is incorrect. The
It's
correct
what,
an- the
is
correct answer.
Lydell Mitchell or Joe Washington?
Yep, Lydell Mitchell. He led the league in 1974 with 72 receptions and 1977 with 71 receptions.
Wow, that shows you how much they threw the football back then. He only had
Right.
70 receptions.
And go ahead.
Yeah. Marshall Faulk was Marshall Faulk has a career 767 receptions. That's 17 more than Michael Irvin. Marshall Faulk was a great pass catching running back out of the backfield. He's got more receptions than Hall of Fame wide receivers. So yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely a talent back there. It was really enjoyable to get to watch him play. So the final question for today is, what was the only team to beat the Jaguars in 1999? Was it the Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Tennessee Titans, or the Cleveland Browns?
Wait, the only team to beat the Jaguars?
Yep.
Well, they didn't go 15-1. That's a weird. You know what I mean? Like the only team to beat the Jaguars. Like in '99, they were good. I think they had Mark Brunell at quarterback, but I know they didn't go 15-1, so I don't. That's a kind of a weird question. I have no idea.
Yeah, that would make me think it would have to be a division team, I guess maybe. So maybe beat them twice and then knocked them out of the playoffs. Maybe would it be the Tennessee Titans?
No, I mean, man, is Denver on there?
No. We got Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Tennessee Titans, and the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I have no idea. Cleveland was an expansion team. That was their first year in 1999 after Art Modell had moved them.
So
Tennessee.
So the correct answer.
I mean, I don't.
Yep.
That's weird. It's a weird question because it's not the Jacksonville didn't go 14-2 either. I don't think.
Yeah, actually they did. They went 15-3 in 1999, and all three losses came to the hands of the Tennessee Titans.
That's an amazing. Wow, that's an amazing trivia. That one is one for the ages. Do you remember their quarterbacks and running backs?
Should have been Mark Brunell.
Yeah.
And then the guys on the NFL channel now.
It's Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell.
Yeah.
They were pretty good. Actually, wow. Okay. It's 1999. I guess. Yeah. Titans Titans made it to the Super Bowl in '99. So yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a trivia. Yeah. You were 100% correct. You just used your common sense there, Michael, and guessed the Titans. That's the only one it could have been.
Yeah. I mean, a process of elimination sometimes does wonders there. So speaking of process of elimination, San Francisco 49ers are still undefeated, beating the Cleveland Browns last night pretty handily, 31-3. Yeah. Marcus, you pretty much nailed the head on the head there. You picked the 49ers to win in a high scoring game. First things first, what are your thoughts about the game?
Man, you had texted me and I told you I fell asleep. Like as soon as the game was over, the air was let out of the game as soon as Baker Mayfield threw a strike to Callaway, number 11, and he should have had a touchdown to make it at least 14-10. It was 14-3 at that point. And then he bobbled the ball up in the air, and then I think a 49er defender intercepted the ball. I think Jimmy Ward, I think it was, or I'm not sure who it was. But then basically the game was over after that. It was absolutely over. That could have gone that went to 21-3 real quickly, and it could have been 14-10. But that being said, man, 49ers defense just dominated the game. And Baker Mayfield looked absolutely horrific. looks like he's digressing. I don't know what's going on with him. But the 49ers, their defense is the real deal. The 49ers, that defense is top notch. And that kid Bosa, the first round pick, he's going to be battling for defensive rookie of the year easily. He manhandled his guy a few times. Um, Sherman, Sherman there. I mean, that's a really good defense, man, and that's so Cleveland got manhandled, and that's exactly what happened. And Baker Mayfield does not look good. This Odell Beckham, what do you have, like 2 catches for 27 yards? They could never get on track, and this game was a methodical beatdown. Probably one that should not have been a Monday Night Football. This is a new, I don't know who picking these Monday Night Football games, but this probably should have been a. I wish they could flex it. This is probably should have been a noon kickoff. It was a snoozer, man. I fell asleep after that interception that Baker Mayfield threw, but which actually that wasn't even Baker Mayfield's fault. Callaway should have had the ball, should have walked in the end zone or dove in the end zone. But methodical beatdown by the 49ers, and I think it's only them and New England now. The 49ers and the New England Patriots are the only two teams undefeated.
Yeah, I was definitely not expecting the 49ers to be undefeated at this point in time whatsoever. I really thought that the Cleveland Browns were really going to hang in there and like do well, but I think the game was over on that very first offensive play for the San Francisco 49ers when number 22 basically went untouched on a left zone play, like a 31 zone, 83 yards or 85 yards untouched. I mean, like that was just the beginning of the end for the Cleveland Browns there. Yeah, and you are exactly right. Like Odell Beckham only had 2 catches all game. Uh, if I remember right, the previous game he only had 2 catches, like
Right.
just like as well, and that broke a 25 game streak that he had of 3+ catches and 25 straight games.
Yeah.
So when you win, you can only get two catches and be satisfied. But when you are only get 2 catches and you get beat down, like just like what they did, Odell Beckham's going to start to get a little bit upset. He is.
Yeah.
You are going to see the true Odell Beckham here, really quick here. Um, with all that being said, it is hard to get more than two catches when Baker Mayfield only has 8 completions all game
Right.
for 100 yards. So that's tough. He had a QBR rating of 1.4.
Yeah. I
1.4.
mean, that's pathetic. 100 yards in the NFL, like passing. That's pretty. I mean, I think I could go out there and throw for 100 yards. I don't. I mean, that's pretty bad. 8 of 22. I mean, man, this thing's good. This thing's going south in a hurry for the Cleveland Browns, and I didn't expect it. I was one of those guys that I drank the Kool Aid. I had them going 10-6. I don't. They have all these weapons, but that offensive line needs help, and they're getting exploited each week. So that's the main problem.
Yeah, and they still have a possibility of going 10-6, but they got a pretty tough schedule ahead of them.
Yeah.
They have the Seahawks next, and then they got the
Oh,
Patriots, and then the Bills. I mean, if they could get through those 3 or 4 games in a 500 setting, they can still go 10-6 on the season because they have a pretty favorable schedule per
yeah.
se going forward. Uh, so I was watching ESPN this morning, and good old Stephen Smith, he's got to do his little stupid ass laugh that like he does, and
Uh-huh.
he was
Yeah.
saying that Baker Mayfield is not overrated. He just plain sucks. What are your thoughts
Wow.
on that?
No, I don't think he sucks. I think listen, the guy. There's a reason he was drafted number 1 overall. He reminds me a little bit of Brett Favre, but listen, they're struggling right now with that offense. That offensive line's pretty bad. I mean, and he's not accurate right now. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like he's digressing. He had Odell Beckham a couple of times open and he missed him. Brett Favre used to do the same thing. He would rocket balls in the first quarter, and you're wondering what the hell's going on, and then he'd get it together. But Brett Favre had a much better offensive line, so we'll see here. I mean, Baker Mayfield, I don't think is going to be a bust, but this season so far doesn't look good. No, I don't think he sucks. He's still a serviceable quarterback. I think he's going to come around. I think he's going to be a good football player.
Yeah, but I do think he is really kind of overhyped. What I think he has 17 starts in the NFL and he has 23 interceptions. I mean
Oh, yeah.
that 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 stat alone is pretty tough. I mean, just to wrap your head around, 21 or 17 starts and 23 interceptions. I mean, that's 1.25 a game.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, I think Deshaun Watson has 27 starts and has like 16 interceptions. So that's yeah, and that's not good. I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad. Hey, we'll see what happens here with Baker Mayfield. I think he'll come around, but right now, man, he is looking bad. And playing Seattle, where is that game at? Seattle or is it in
I
Cleveland?
believe it's at Cleveland Browns.
Now that's the only saving grace there. I don't think they'd win in Seattle. They better get it together this Sunday.
Well,
That'll be a game I'll be watching because the Debbie and Clowney and them boys are going to be coming after that porous offensive line.
Well, you say that, but the Cleveland Browns are 0-2 at home this
Yeah.
season, so it's they're kind of better on the road than they are
Yeah,
at
yeah, I get it.
are at home here. Uh,
Usually those things turn about though. They usually weigh themselves out. Usually teams are better at home. But I see what you're saying though. That's man, it is not looking good for Freddie Kitchen and them boys in Cleveland, man. It's looking bad now. They better beat Seattle or this could be a long year. I'm gonna tell you right now. They don't beat Seattle. They got New England staring them out. You said they got New England on the horizon.
yep.
They don't beat Seattle. Yeah, it's gonna look pretty bad.
So with all that being said here, we do have two undefeated teams left here. We do have the Patriots at 5-0 and the San Francisco 49ers at 4-0. I'm going to kind of throw a curveball at you here.
Yeah.
Which team goes further undefeated, Patriots or the 49ers?
Well, the 49ers, I mean, the Patriots got the Giants this weekend with no Saquon Barkley. He's already been ruled out. So that's pretty much a layup. So they're on their way to what? What would that be? 6-0? Yeah, they're going to
6-0.
be 6-0 pretty quickly here. The 49ers are at the Rams. This thing could end right now. They could be 4-1. So I'm predicting that. I'll pick the Rams versus the 49ers here on a Sunday. So New England will be the lone undefeated team here come next Monday night.
Yeah, and I think I have to agree with you a little bit on that. Um, I do think the Patriots are going to roll the Giants.
Yeah,
But this Rams 49er game is kind of starting to be quickly a very intriguing game.
yeah.
So uh, like I'm not writing off the 49ers yet, but I think I'm going to pick the Rams like in this game here.
Yeah.
So uh, I mean we
I would
definitely
too. I think that's a good pick. I listen. The 49ers are going to be traveling on the road on a short week. I'll go ahead and take the Rams. Rams are hungry, and the Rams better get it together soon too. They're not. They haven't been blowing off the doors either.
Yeah. Let me throw another curveball at you. The Week 6 NFL Power Rankings have come out, and the top 8 teams are as followed here. You have the number one. You obviously have the New England Patriots. Number
Yes.
two, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
Number three, you have the New Orleans Saints. Number four, Seattle Seahawks. Number five, Kansas City Chiefs. Number six, Green Bay Packers. Number seven, surprise here, Buffalo Bills. Number eight, Philadelphia Eagles. Do you like that top 8 power rankings that they have there?
Um, I think the first seven are pretty locked in. They got Philadelphia at number 8. I mean, you could put a bunch of Dallas could be 8. I know Dallas has lost 2 in a row, but Philadelphia hasn't lit the doors on fire either. They beat the Jets team without Sam Darnold. And by the way, Sam Darnold will play against the Cowboys this Sunday at 3:25, and he will make a difference. Dallas will still win this football game, but this is not Luke Falk lining up to play quarterback for the Jets. This is Sam Darnold, and he will make the throws to keep the Jets in this game versus the Cowboys. You mark my words on that. But Dallas will win this game. Yeah, as far as that 8 spot's concerned, you could have put the Rams, you could have put Oakland. I might put Oakland ahead of just beating Cleveland there.
Well, pump the
Um,
brakes there, man. Pump those brakes. Oakland Raiders? Come on now.
well, no, I mean you have to admit they've been a big surprise. I mean they just beat the Chicago Bears defense. I
Right.
mean that's pretty good. I mean So I guess the top 7 are secure, is what I'm saying. 8, you could put the Texans or the Colts. The Colts just beat the Chiefs. I might even be inclined to put the Colts up there, and I hate the Colts.
Yeah, they do.
So I think those top 7 aren't bad. It's just 8 you'd have a little argument with starting at number 8.
So I have to throw some red flags up there. Uh, First things first. Kansas City as high as like as they were, what they had them at number 5. Kansas City definitely struggled the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and with Patrick Mahomes questionable with that high ankle sprain, I would move Kansas City down to number 8. May
Really?
like this might be a little bit over
Yeah.
reaction, like a tad bit. But if you are doing power rankings for week 6, I don't think they could beat the. By the way they performed the last 2 weeks, I don't think they can beat the teams that are going to put above them. Uh, the number 7, I do like the Indianapolis Colts there. The
Yeah.
Colts are definitely playing well. Some might even say Super Bowl bound team. Number 6, Green Bay Packers. I do like that. 5, I'm going to put Seattle Seahawks. Number 3, I'm going to put the 49ers. I'm sorry. Number 4, I'm going to put the Buffalo Bills in there. I really like what
Right.
they're doing
So
right now. 3, the 49ers. 2, I'm going to put the Saints, and then number 1, I would put the Patriots in there.
yeah, no, I mean it's hard to quibble with that. I mean that top 7 looks pretty secure. So I think the teams that could make the jump in there after next week would be the Texans if they could somehow beat the Chiefs. I do think you're you're lowballing your own team there. The Chiefs they've only lost one,
Right.
so they're at 4-1. They still got to be around that 5-6 range. Now if they lose to the Texans, now they might fall out of the top 10. But we haven't played that game yet, so we'll see. But the Texans could make a leap uh, in there if they beat the Chiefs. They're definitely people will have the Texans in there, maybe a top 6 or 7.
Yeah, this Kansas City Houston game is definitely going to be a very big game next week. Uh, both the winner of that team will definitely be in the top 10, no
Yeah.
doubt, next week come week 7 power rankings. Moving on to the Major League Baseball scene here, we're going to talk a little bit about your Houston Astros. They
All right.
did lose to the Tampa Bay Rays last night in Game 3, but there still is a Game 4, and they're up in the series 2-1. On the mound tonight is Verlander for them, quite arguably one of the best pitchers on the staff. Does Houston win tonight?
I think they do win, and we talked about that a little bit yesterday. Would AJ Hinch go with a another starter there that's not named Garrett Cole or not named Justin Verlander, and then save one of those guys for Game 5? And he's not doing that, man. And he's going all out to win this game. The Houston Astros are treating this game, even though they have Game 5 in their back pocket, and Garrett Cole will start that game. But their Houston Astros are treating this game like it's a Game 7 or Game 5, and they're going all in with Justin Verlander, and I think they do get this victory today. Tampa Bay had their little moment in the sun there, winning Game 3, 10-3. I think this ends tonight here. I think Astros will advance, and Astros are looking over there at the Yankees. The Yankees have already swept the Minnesota Twins, and oh God, the Twins. I mean, all those home run hitters. Where were you guys at? They
Yeah.
led the league in home runs, and everybody in the lineup's hitting at least 20 something home runs, and the bats were silent there for the Twins. The real disappointing. I hate that when a team has all these home run hitters, and then they get to the playoffs and they just lay an egg. But the Astros are looking over there at the Yankees, who just swept the Twins, and saying, "Hey, we better get this done." And so I think Verlander pitches a really good game. Who knows if he'll get the decision? Because it could be tied up like at 1-1 or 2-2. But I think the Astros bats will come through in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and they'll get this victory and they'll move on and they'll play the Yankees. And everybody's been expecting that game, that series, the Yankees versus Astros. And Garrett Cole will be ready to pitch Game 1 versus the Yankees. And that being said, I'd move Greinke up to number 2, and I wouldn't pitch Verlander until it gets to the Bronx there for Game 3, Verlander Game 3 in New York. So that's the way I would have the pitching rotation set up for the ALCS. But yeah, answer your question, Houston Astros will get this victory tonight. Their offense will explode in the 7th, 8th, 9th innings, and Verlander might probably get the victory.
Yeah, I hear everything that you're saying, and I think the Houston Astros have to win tonight because they don't want to be in a pitching kind of conundrum of like, do
Yeah.
we pitch our ace on 2 days rest, or we let him get the normal 5 days rest and not start him until game 2 or game 3? I mean, you definitely have to have Verlander in there by game 2, I think, because you want him to pitch twice in the series, and if you pitch
Yeah.
him in game 3, you quite possibly may not be able to get him in a second game. So this
Well,
is this is kind of a must win.
well, usually when pitchers pitch game 3, they'll be available game 7. So I would think Verlander would start game 7. So I don't think that usually when a starting pitcher pitches game 4, then that's the only start they get for the series. So pitching game 1, whoever pitches game 1, which is Garrett Cole, he'll be available game 5. Greinke will be available game 6, and Verlander pitches game 3, he'll be available game 7. That's how it normally works. So that's the way I would set up the rotation if I was AJ Hinch.
Yeah, the only thing that I fear for your Houston Astros in this game is that they did see the Yankees sweep the Twins. Are they possibly looking too much to that series, and the Tampa Bay might come snub them in the butt in this game and make it a and then even up the series a 2-2 game here?
Wow.
Uh, that's the only thing that I would possibly fear. But they do have a veteran pitcher on the mound that's been there, done that. So
Right.
I don't anticipate that really happening. Uh, I do have a question for you though here.
Hmm.
Every time you see Major League Baseball scores, it says negative 200 or plus 200. What does that mean?
It means so. Let's just say the Astros are favored. Did you see the Astros favored today, or is that what?
Yeah,
Let's just
I think the
yeah.
Astros says or they're minus 240.
Okay, so Astros are minus 240. That means that they're favored to win, and that means if you put $240 down on the Astros, you only get 100 back. You don't get 240 back. So in other words, you'll get your money back. You'll get your 240 back, but you only win 100.
Oh,
Now, if you let's flip that. If you put that means that the Rays are plus 240. Okay, so that means that if you put $100 on the Rays today and they win, you get your $100 back plus 240. So the
oh,
Astros are favored, like almost 2.5, like two times, like 240 bucks to 100. So that's a big deal. Um, that I mean they're really favored to win this game. So that's what that means. You put down 240 and you get your 240 back, but you're only gonna make 100 bucks.
gotcha. All right, man. So that's going to be it for today's show. Any closing thoughts?
Man, just getting anxious, ready. Got my Astros stuff going here. I might start a barbecue here in a little while. Get ready to watch the Astros and Verlander, and let's see them take this series. And then it's on to New York, where man, that's been one of the most anticipated series that we can recall. Man, this is big time. Yankees versus Astros coming up, which I think it starts on Saturday if I'm not mistaken. So give them plenty of time to rest. And it's a little scary over there in Dodger country. LA Dodgers have been the best team in the National League, 106 victories, right?
Right.
And there you go. There's Clayton Kershaw doing what he does in the postseason. Great regular season pitcher, right? But when he gets to the playoffs, Clayton Kershaw, under 500 in the playoffs, and they got the Nationals um, staring down their throat there, and that could be a major upset. The Nationals beating the Dodgers, and Strasburg will be on the mound game 5, Nationals versus Dodgers. So this is pretty scary if you're a Dodger fan, man. You get that. Imagine 106 wins going down the drain.
Yeah, that would definitely be tough. That
Yeah,
but that series is tied 2-2.
right,
Game 5 is tomorrow
right.
at 8 o'clock there on TBS. If you guys are interested in watching that game, also another tied series. One of your World Series picks, the Braves and Cardinals, they are tied in a 2-2 series as well. They play Wednesday
Right.
afternoon as well. So uh, two great
Yes.
uh, uh, National League series there. So if you guys are
Yep,
National
tomorrow.
League baseball
Yep.
fans, uh, check that out. There is nothing like postseason baseball out there. So
Man, the
it's
drama is real, Michael, on this
yeah,
baseball. It's real. It's palpable. You can feel it, especially if one of your teams is involved. But
Yes.
even if one of your teams isn't involved, you can feel the drama. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. You cannot write this in a Hollywood script any better
Right.
right now. But
Right.
guys, that's going to be it for today. Join us tomorrow, same time, same place, and we'll catch you guys then. Have a good day.
All right.